Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's get it, baby. It's Wisdom Thursdays. I don't know why I put up Wisdom Wednesdays, but I don't know. We'll fix it. Sorry about the title description. It wouldn't change. I don't know why that one went up there. Shout out to my brother Joe Leasy and my whole Fit First crew. What's good? Today's Thursday.
Ha, you motherfuckers.
You mother. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's get it, baby. All right, let me turn that down. Mic check, mic check. Monitors will be up momentarily. Can I get a mic check, mic check, mic check? Can y'all hear me? Hit a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Mona, here we go right now. Okay, successfully connected. Let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Julie. Good morning, Mecca. Okay, we lit. All right. Okay. First and foremost, man, I want to say grand rising to everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's blessed that we got to wake up another day. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Alicia. You know what I'm saying? We're blessed to wake up another day. We're blessed. Shout out to Fifth First, man. My brother Joe Leasy, man. My whole Fifth First crew, man. You know, see, these guys ain't been paying attention, man. Joe's down there killing Fubas. I've been telling you to go down there all year so y'all could be out here today when it's 90-something degrees with a Fupa that's no longer there. You understand what I'm saying? But y'all didn't want to listen to me. You could have got the discount and everything. So if you're still interested, go hit Joe up and tell him Trap sent you, man. I guarantee you he hooks you up. All right? Shout out to Queen City Fresh, man. If your car ain't Queen City Fresh, man, I don't know what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. You know what I mean? But I got some special guests in the building, man. They'll be in the building momentarily. They stuck in traffic right now. They some great friends of mine. We've been setting up this for a while, man, and I want to talk about it, man. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, before they get here, I want to talk about how do we address mental health when you're talking to a 12, 13-year-old kid that you see suffer from mental health and you see him these acts of how do us as a community supposed to help these children that are suffering from mental health? That's one of the questions I want to ask my audience today. You understand what I'm saying? That because I yesterday and the day before I was faced with a few children that I was called on to talk to, and I seen that these children they really suffer from this, and now the parents see that they suffer from this. this is the first time I really, how can I say it? Me and the parent understood on the same page. Like a lot of times I'll see it when I'll be talking to a kid or something, and I'll see the signs that he needs help, and I'll tell a parent, and they'll be, no, I don't think it's that forth with me. But this time, this woman's seen it. She's seen that this young man needs help. And I didn't know what to tell her. I don't know where to go. I don't know. I see, this is the stuff that our community needs to know. You understand what I'm saying? We can say, oh yeah, you just have a talk with them, da 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 da. Nah. Some of these kids really need help. So where is there? Because I like I told you, I didn't know what to tell this woman, but I know the signs. You understand what I'm saying? I know that counseling is where do we have counseling? Where can parents get help for these children? You understand what I'm saying? So I told her, I said, you know what? I'm going to talk about it on the podcast this week. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm going to see if we can get some great opinions on how to deal with it, and or who could we seek out for help? You understand what I'm saying? So I wanna tip it to the audience. I mean, to the comment section right now and see if people have any because parents, if you really think about it, do you have a solution if your child really is suffering from mental health? What would you do? I know that I got a lot of parents in the chat. If your child is suffering from mental health, can y'all tell me what would be the first thing y'all would do? What would be the procedure? And I want y'all to be real. If you don't know, like I don't know, say it. Yo, wow, Trap, I really don't know. If my child suffered from that, I really don't know what I would do. You understand what I'm saying? I'd rather you tell me that, you know what I'm saying, than lie to me and say, oh, I would do all this, and you really don't know what you would do. You understand what I'm saying? So I would ask y'all in the chat to please, you understand what I'm saying? Let me get some advice, or give some advice to anybody that the ER, they don't take that. See, I knew you was gonna say that, Mecca. I didn't know you. I shout out to my brother Chief Rocker, will be pulling up momentarily. Yes, I knew that someone would say the hospital, ER, they don't accept that unless the child is trying to hurt themselves, Mecca. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on live. I'll call you right back as soon as I'm off. All right, brother. Yes, if your kid is, I'm not talking about suicidal, Mecca. I'm just talking about mental health right now. I'm not. They don't take in the ER. See, they don't take that unless you call them and tell them that this child is trying to hurt themselves. I don't think there's nothing they can do. They don't take that in the ER. Grand Rising, Unique. No, Miss Jackson, there's counseling hours for that at a certain hour. I'm talking about in the middle of the night, or when it could be closed. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? See, y'all are saying this like, I'm glad we're talking about this because I'm getting to hear people's what they're doing. It's all the wrong shit. Here we go. My brother's here. Come on in there and have a seat. Come on here. Huh? Their PCP was to help. I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm glad my comments are so, because this is dope right now. This user giving remedies to people that are probably suffering from this mental health and don't know if your child is suffering from mental health. What do you do? What do you? Of course, you could hold your child, tell them you love them, tell her you love them. But what do you do? What resources do we got? I just explained to you. You can't go down to the ER because unless it's counseling hours, you can go during counseling hours and they'll assist you to an area. But this is emergency. Call your local mental health center is an option. Yeah, but it's 4 o'clock in the morning. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Bradley Hospital intake like Butler. Okay. I am walking this with my okay. The PCPs are all on call 24 hours. Okay. That's dope. My son at the age of 5 was schizophrenia. He's 29 now. Wow. So we got to understand that I'm glad that people are sharing their remedies and their resources. You know what I'm saying? Because that's dope. You understand what I'm saying? That's dope. And I would like all of you, if you have anything you would like to share and how to deal with it, how you dealt with it, if you dealt with it personally. Because sometimes the best doctors are personal, going through it personal. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with it personal. You know what I'm saying? You ready? All right. So, all right, now my brother's here. You know what I'm saying? He has a guest. I'm going to let him introduce her because I don't know her, but I'm going to introduce my brother first. This is Kyle Campbell. You know what I'm saying? My brother. You know what I'm saying? We go back. Oh, my God. I can't even remember. You got to sit on that chair right there, her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Boom. You get the mic, the headphones on, Kyle. So you can hear. The mic up some more for you. So we'll get it like that. Bam, bam, bam. Let me see if the camera got everybody. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, I would like you to introduce yourself, Mr. Campbell. Hold on, let me see it because they got to catch up. They got to catch up. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Oh, yep. We lit. Boop, 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 boop. And they need billionaires with phones numbers instead of these other shit posting. They could have numbers on there. They could. Yes, I agree. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody. So first and foremost, like I said, I want Kyle to introduce himself.
How you all doing? It's good to be here, representing the brother Trap, somebody I know since at least 87, 88.
Yes.
Grew up together, different sides of town. Unfortunately, met back up in the ACI, both juvenile waivers, and we made sure not to allow the ACI to narrate our lives. When I was 17 years old, I was accused of a murder and given a life bid. From that life bid, I met many of important men that I never imagined would shape my life and shape my life in a positive way. Throughout that 30 years, I made sure to spend every day in the law library while fighting for my life and making sure to elevate every aspect of education, not just for myself, but fighting for our brothers and sisters that were incarcerated at the highest level. And what I mean by that is making sure that men and women's rights were being upheld within the system, also too in our distressed communities in Providence. That led to me being released, or actually fighting for my parole first and being released in 2023 after being actually released and or given parole in 2022 and given what the ACI usually does, they stagger your sentence. So I had to do 1 year waiting for parole. And that wait is one of the most dangerous things that happen to men and women because anything could happen to you within that 1 year period.
Everybody tests you.
Everybody tests you. So it's this interesting predicament that you're in, where prior to being gained parole, it's not saying that the time is easy, but you look at time differently. But when you get parole, it's one of the most crucial times in your life because you're dealing with stress. You're dealing with stress on your emotions. You're dealing with stress mentally. You isolate yourself, not just from yourself, but from your family. Your visits change. Your conduct changes. Traditionally in Rhode Island, you believe that, oh, you know, my brother, my father, my uncle, my auntie, whoever it may be, is about to be released, not knowing it's one of the scariest times in their life. And I had to go through that same stress, and I gained a blessing with that stress. I was supposed to go to law school 2 years ago, graduated from College Unbound, getting my bachelor's degree. Big shout out to College Unbound. Big shout out to James Montero for bringing College Unbound into the prison. The brother, everyone knows him. And then moving on to RCP, another place that I graduated from prior to attaining my bachelor's from College Unbound, and then getting this crazy blessing. I was supposed to go to law school, already had signed my papers, was slated to go to Roger Williams University in 2022 until PC came along and was like, yo, how do you feel about going to PC? The master's degree in education. And I was contemplating a little bit, but at the same time, I was like, listen, what are the odds that a young dark-skinned black boy from Chad Brown, shout out to my home, Chad Brown, I see you in the space, to go to PC to gain a master's degree? Just that relationship alone was enough for me to say, you know what, law school will be there if I ever need to revisit it. The law is in me, fighting for people's rights, fighting for my own rights will never leave me. And I went to PC. Look where I'm at right now. Graduated 2 months ago. Here today.
Now, man, brother, I'm so proud of you, man. There's blessings, but let's get back. I got some questions.
Absolutely.
Let's get back, because let me tell you all something. That road that he's telling you, that good shit, that shit took pain. He's not telling the pain I watched him go through. First, let's start off. How many years did you spend in penitentiary?
I unfortunately spent 30 years straight in the ACI.
That's 30 years, people. All right, let's start there. All right, let's go. How age was you when we was
17 years old, and let it be known that do not think for 1 minute that what Rhode Island interestingly deems as a young man is not a young man. If you are 18 years old, you are considered a minor, a child in this state. So do not allow anyone to narrate and say that you're 18 or 17-year-old boy, particularly black or young brown boys, are men, because they are not. And me and Trap got to experience that firsthand.
And I'm getting into all of that, because a lot of people don't know. They look at your story, right, Kyle? And I've been hearing this, and they go like this, yo, da-da-da-da, but they don't know the pain, Kyle, because you never tell people. You never tell people, Kyle, how you had to really distance yourself. You had to really watch them do dirty stuff to us, Kyle, so you could. Kyle, I remember this. You remember me on floors with cuffs, and I'm looking up at you all the time, and you was always trying to help us. Because let me tell you something. Kyle was he didn't do time like me. Kyle was the one that was looking out for us when we was in the trouble and stuff. Kyle was the one showing us, yo, this is how you get out of that. Yo, here, brother, this is how you get out of that. Yo, if I could do that for you. He was that brother to us. He was that brother to us. But do you know how much turmoil he had to go through? Kyle, tell him all the nights you had to go through not sleeping and thinking about all the shit people were saying in jail because your job's in jail. You know how we had talks about this, Kyle, in prison.
Yes. So when I was 17 years old, the first introduction I had to activism. Shout out to Bruce Riley,
Yes.
my mentor, a lot of people's mentor. That's the brother that
Taught me
made
fantasy
sure,
football too. Him and Steve Parker. Shout out to my brothers.
Shout out to the brother Steve. Shout out to my brother Mario.
Now these brothers, let me tell you something. Steve Parkhurst is another one. I was there when he first went to jail. When he first walked into the penitentiary, I gave him his pair of sneakers. He'll tell you, him and Ryan.
Yes.
Know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Ryan.
Yeah, shout out to Ryan too. Them brothers was like, what was they, 15 years old or something, I think?
15.
They charged with a bunch of murders. They was given the death penalty, all kinds of states. They was put with me. We was in the back. They looked at me. I was the only black kid with them. Me and these 2 serial killers. Well, supposedly that's what they was charged with. Allegedly. So this is how I met them. They had no sneakers and they was naked. I had a bunch of pair of sneakers in my lockers. The cops was putting me back there for discipline reasons. They was putting them back there because they was transferred from they was all over the news and stuff. So when the cops thought they was going to do something to me or something, so they put me with them and they became one of my best friends. You understand what I'm saying? How long did Steve do?
Steve did 31 years.
These are all brothers that I was with. They did 31 years. I was there when they walked in the door. You understand what I'm saying? But I want you to go on with your story because your story is so unique, man, because I watched you fight for your life. And I'm not going to lie, Kyle. Kyle, I'm not going to lie to you. I gave up. I said, Kyle's done. Like a lot of us did. I'm being honest. Yeah. I sat there and watched you fight in that law library. You know how many times I argued with you, Kyle? Man, come on here and let's smoke some weed in this yard. No, he didn't want to do it. Come on, Kyle, let's come out here and do some shit up. He ain't want no trap. He's in the law library. That's where I found him at. If I needed copies, I needed something to do with my case. That's who I went to for help because I knew where to find him. He's not in trouble. That's where he didn't want to get in no trouble with us. But I kept saying in years and years when we was in there, this motherfucker's stupid. He ain't getting out. And my brother's here with me. You understand what I'm saying? But he went through a lot. And a lot of people don't know that. And when I be saying that to people, they be looking going, yeah, he ain't getting no trouble. But emotionally, I was there in intake when he first went to jail. He was looking at me, Trap, they saying I did this. Mm-hmm. I remember I'm going to courts with him on the van and I'm looking at these crimes with his case and I know him personally. And I'm looking and I'm going, he ain't got the heart to do this. This is not him. I'm looking at him and then through the years I'm saying, damn, did he do it? Did he do it this month? Yo, Kyle, you better go in there. You've been 20-something years now. Come on. Because I seen people go inside prison, go inside parole boards and say that they did it and they didn't do it just to come home.
Happens often.
That's what I thought. I'm not gonna lie. I was saying, Kyle, go in there and tell people you did it so they can let you out.
Yeah.
You understand what I didn't say this shit, man. But you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I understand that, man. And shout out to all my brothers that was in there, man, in that law library, man. I used to talk shit to. Because I used to talk shit to these guys.
Yes, you did.
I'm telling you, I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? Because I never ever thought that, he was just smart. He's always, you guys thinking how smart he is. He always been smart like this. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if they said that he came up with some crazy ass thing to launder a bunch of money because he was his brain, I would have said, okay, you probably. But to say that the crime that he did, I knew that. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm getting at is that you can't judge a book by its cover.
No, you can't.
And the fight is never over.
So glad that you mentioned that. I was talking with a group of kids at Providence College a couple of months back, actually last year. Mm-hmm. And one of the kids says to me, and I didn't let him finish. He says, I would like to ask you a couple of questions, Mr. Campbell. And I would assume that all the men in prison are. And he was about to word less. Mm-hmm. You know what I did to him. Because me and you, Trap, we know something that most people don't know about that are in prison. Most people in prison are not hopeless. Most people in prison have dreams, aspirations, hopes, ideation, smart people that need to be given chance and opportunity. So he apologized, but I didn't want him to apologize. I have a responsibility to make sure when I'm talking to people in society, no matter what room I'm in, no, I'm going to fucking tell you. about these people's hearts, their minds, their spirits.
Yeah.
You know what? Traditionally, this country wants you to not hear. And I'm not talking about incarcerated. I'm talking about prior to incarceration. They want people to believe that we're other, that we're nothing, that we're marginalized, that we're segregated. So I made sure, and I make sure when I'm talking about brothers and sisters that are inside, I'm always elevating who they truly are. Talking about the tears, talking about the pain, talking about the trauma of being isolated from your family, from your community, and to make sure saying that you are not going to be judged, or I am not going to judge you from, I don't give a damn if you made 1,000 mistakes, right? So I made sure when I was 17 years old, because see, Bruce seen something in me that like you already knew in me, but he didn't know me.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, young brother, get your ass in that law library.
I remember you hanging around with you and Bruce Riley every day.
Yes.
I remember your little crew, bunch of nerds. Hey, can I tell you something? They're a bunch of nerds, man. I'm telling you, they're a bunch of a sprinkle in Steve Parker's. He was in it. Steve Parker's was in it. He would dibble and dabble from a nerd to the streets. You understand what I'm saying? Because Steve would do, but you know, for the most part, them guys are nerds in jail.
But so check this out, and I don't mind that because that's what's needed in our community. We need more fathers, predominantly black fathers.
Yo, you're loving nerds. No homo.
No,
loving nerds. You're nerds that I love, that I can come to every time I needed advice. When I needed my help get my GED, all of you guys helped me get my GED.
Absolutely.
The nerds helped me get my GED. I went to them. They showed me how to write that summary. I love you guys for that. Sit me in that library and going, Trap, you got to learn how to write this. I remember that.
And see that,
you understand what I'm saying?
That's mentorship. That's deeper than mentorship. That's love 30 years ago.
I remember Bruce Riley trying to teach me how to read big words. I didn't know how to read big words. And I love you for that, Bruce. I remember you sitting in there going, Trap, don't worry about it. Just say it. Yeah. I remember that shit. The nerds in jail taught me how to read, helped me get my GED.
Check this out. 17 years old, OGs got me in the law library and said this to me. We don't know how to read all these words. We don't know how to phrase all of it together, but we want you to learn. My first act of activism in the ACI intake, 1994, 1993, Joe Biden's about to do the Crime Act, right? Mm-hmm. It's about to decimate this country, decimate predominantly poor whites, poor blacks, poor Asians, poor Hispanics. We're still living with that legacy today. But I'm like, yo, what do you mean by right for you, support you? I don't even understand what that is. I'm 17 years old. And they said, listen, we're dealing with issues of corruption. We're dealing with issues of police brutality, unsanitary conditions, lack of education, and overcrowding. And you remember what it was in the early 90s.
Yes.
Those issues, right, were told to me. I took them. I don't know how I did it. I wrote to the governor. I wrote to the mayor. I wrote to the director of the prison and wrote to whoever I could write to. This is what the brothers are dealing with. Oh, I'm sorry. This is what the fuck I'm dealing with as a 17-year-old boy. So that first act of activism became me today, right? So whoever thought that you would have your own podcast and doing activism for the community? Who would have ever thought that?
Nah, nobody probably.
When I heard you were doing it, I said, oh, hell no, he's not doing that. And I was inside. I was like, man, Trap's not doing that. But before the podcast, you already had started. You got babies. You got grandkids already? Yeah. It's maturity. It's growing up. But a lot of people don't understand something. I got to see some of that maturity inside. Because every time, unfortunately, when I seen you come in, and that shit hurt my heart. There's never a time where I seen someone go into the ACI, or not going, but be pushed into the ACI. Either they were guilty or innocent, and say, yo, I want to be here. So a lot of people didn't understand what I was going through. I've only started talking about that. It'll be in the autobiographies coming out soon. Very soon.
Very soon. I definitely got to check it out.
Right? Also, to support, before the autobiography comes out, support Innovative Spirits. That's a publishing company I just started a couple of weeks ago. Publishing company specifically designed to publish only incarcerated people's work and formerly impacted people's work. Artwork, poems, books, whatever you want to write.
What made you start this activism? That you've been in prison? No, I ain't even gonna, because I know what made you, but I want you to explain to the people why you're so hard into activism.
Well, as Trap was saying earlier, he knows me prior to my incarceration. So prior to my incarceration, I was an MC, and that MCing was premised on social conscious MCing. You know, late 80s, early 90s.
Most Def type.
Golden Ever, you know what I mean? Most Def, Rakim, KRS-One, Public Enemy, you know, groups like that. That
shit that I didn't want to hear.
Right.
Well, that conscious rap. Yeah.
Oh, but hold on. No, we were listening to the same thing. But because if you're listening to the NWA,
Public Enemy.
Right. NWA, right? Ice Cube, Above the Law, Ice-T.
No. I get it.
They're still talking about the black diaspora. They're still talking about the community.
Yes.
They're just saying it
different turn. They was different.
Different language.
Derogatory
way, but it's still the same message.
Yeah.
We're being brutalized in our communities. Poverty is real. Homelessness is real. Lack of transportation is real. Lack of education is real. And we're not being given the just due we deserve in this country that we fucking helped build, right? Through white power structures that continuously marginalize us. And we were dealing with that many forever. It's nothing new, forever. But due to my family, due to my community, due to my education when I was a young kid, and then me starting to write poems, didn't take long for me to become an MC. And I got a question for the audience. If y'all got any questions for Kyle that y'all want to ask, you can put them up there, and I'll definitely ask them, because I got two more questions that I want to ask you before I let the audience ask, because I know they got questions for you. But I gotta say, can you explain to the audience, did you get paroled? What happened with your sentence? And are you still on parole? You know what I'm saying? You're still on parole, right? Good. That's the question. So I was given parole in 2022. They gave me a year release date, which we call staggered parole. I was released in 2023. I was given a life with the opportunity parole sentence. So that means I'll be on parole for my life. Deeper than that, that means I'm restricted from a lot of movement that people take for granted, right? I can't leave this country. I can't go to another state without asking permission. That permission has to be premised on, what are you doing?
So you just can't go and travel and get no sneakers.
No, you can't. No,
go
you
to a concert. You can't do none of that.
No, you cannot. I have to ask. And that ask is even premised on, is it education related, or is it connected to my nonprofit? Which I want to definitely tell the audience about.
That's my last question is, but it might as well get into that now that you're here. Now, your nonprofit, I got to ask you before we get into it, are the nerds involved?
What? Two more of them.
Oh, God. Shout out to Steve Parker, Bruce Riley. See, I'm glad that you guys are still clicked up. You guys are still doing good things. And, I'm glad you guys, I didn't even know you guys are still clicked up like that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Every day.
Yeah, that's good. Man.
So, around maybe 7 months ago, Steve Parker said to me, hey, yo, Kyle, we were always going to do this activist work, but we were going to do it solo, but not so much solo, with help. You know what I mean? There's several organizations out here. Shout out to DARE. Shout out to Project Weber. Shout out to the ACLU,
Rodney Dalzone,
the Alphas.
Yes. Memorial. Shout out to them brothers.
Shout out to Memorial. There's so many agencies out here. The Amos House, Black and Pink. There's so many more. Please forgive me if I didn't mention your organization. Even you have universities now. You got James Montero with the
Re-Entry Black Business Program. Network. I need you to get up.
Black Business Network.
Yes.
The Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
College Unbound, Roger Williams University, CCRI, PC. These are schools, right? These are
these people that helped you?
Absolutely.
That's what I wanted.
Every name.
Fuck all that.
Listen. Every name that you hear me spit out my mouth
helped you.
Every name made sure to write personal letters of support to help me not just gain parole, but to be accepted as the first person that was incarcerated and only to be accepted into PC in a master's program. You have to understand how important that is. So there's a lot of people looking at me and watching.
Hell yeah, you're a convicted murderer.
Yes, at PC and graduated in 1 year. Fast track program in urban education. So it's very, very specific what I do and what I talk about, right? How is the urban community affected by these white power structures? But here's what I used to tell PC every day when the brothers up there, the friars, because there's friars up there, right? They would ask me, what does the community need? So I would say, well, let me tell you, first of all, the community is not the same, because me and you know that. And that's okay. But until the community tells me or asks me about things that they need, I'm not telling you. I'm not speaking for myself. Right? I don't speak for myself.
I don't know what the community needs. Why? How are you asking me what the community means? The community's over there. I'm here.
I can bring you to the community though, so I started doing that. Right? Shout out to Sister Althea.
Shout out
North
to Sister
End,
Althea.
making sure Kyle bring them folk down here. Right? Bring them folk down here because I'm a breath of fresh air to them. They're not accustomed to dealing with people like me. However, there's a whole bunch of me's. That's another problem in this where I'm looked at as unique. I'm unique under God.
And that's one of the things I wanted to say, yo, and I want to give it to you people, man. Hey, yo, there's a lot of people like Kyle. There's a lot of people that came home from prison and yo did 30 years. Look at all my brothers. See, we don't get trophies. We don't get plaques. We never get talked about. We never say, yo, Kyle's doing good. Yo, Trap's been home almost 10 years. Yo, this one's been home 10 years. We never say, yo, this one ain't out here gang banging and yo, this one ain't, we never talk about that. You see the same people getting awards for doing stuff, but you don't see the people getting, well, I'm not saying we supposed to get awards for doing good. No, but I'm saying it's some times ago, yo, I commend you guys, man.
So you want to know what I did about that? I made sure to start creating alumni associations, started talking and building a relationship with the parole board. So I asked a question months ago. I said, why is there not a place where formerly impacted people, parole, probation can just go, a safe space to just go and talk about our successes, right? I don't give a damn if you work 2 McDonald's jobs. I don't care if you're a janitor. What I want to know is how is that supporting your child? Because your child is happy that you're doing that. They don't even know you work at McDonald's, a 6-year-old child.
No, they just know you come home.
You're coming home.
Yeah,
right?
That's it.
And you might have to wear that fake smile for your child, but you're providing. And thank God you got a woman by your side, or maybe not. Maybe you're a single father. Don't get it. Single fathers do not. Let me tell you something that I did when I was inside. So when you're in university, when you're at that level of education, you're asked to write a dissertation. A dissertation means everything that you study. What's your main topic of study? So people inside knew everything that I used to talk about was juvenile justice. When I get out and become an advocate for youth, right? That's what I lived. That's what I experienced. That's what you lived. That's what I experienced.
Yeah.
So this is what I did. I didn't do my dissertation on that. I switched the whole thing and did my dissertation on why our fathers, and I'm not a father, I have no children. I'm going on 49 years old. I have no children. I didn't want to be released at 47 years old, right? And have a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think you're depriving yourself because you're in good shape. And I think that, no, we're not going to say that. We're not going to say 49, you can't have a child.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No. I'm saying I don't think that you're hurting a child. I know what you're saying, yo. I'm 40. I'm getting out at 47, having a kid. I'll probably be 50. When the kid's 10, I'm 60.
So check it out. I didn't even do none of that math. I didn't do that math. Here's the math that I did. It goes back to what you asked me earlier about trauma and pain. I want society to know that just because I don't look like I carry trauma and pain.
That's what I want to show.
I carry trauma and pain. I just balance it out.
I wanted to show them.
I believe in God, right? I believe in the social contract. I believe in saying to brothers, I love you.
And the cops hated him at first. When he came over, they hated him. The cops didn't like Kyle because he was helping us. The cops didn't like Kyle because he was helping us, getting us out of jams. No other reason did the cops not like Kyle, because he was just helping us.
Yes.
And he would help everybody, bro. Black,
everybody.
Chinese. I seen him with everybody at the table would be helping somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing changed. So the same thing applies to the community, right? After 30 years, I know what it feels like to walk into communities that used to be predominantly white, predominantly black, maybe 15 Hispanic brothers and sisters in one community, to now get out to predominantly all Hispanic communities. To me, it's a blessing, not to everybody, right? But I know how to navigate East also within those two communities to let them know, oh, you are no different than who used to be there, right? And that led into Steve asking me that question. How about let's click together and create something? So I said, you know what? Absolutely, with no question. We started devising a name together. Then we said, you know what? We want to bring it further. Let's go get young brother Mario because he's way younger than us, right? And we created what's called the Rhode Island Freedom Collective. And
yo, that's crazy. I'm getting prison calls. I got Uncle Benny on the phone. Yo, Uncle Benny,
what's the deal?
What's going on? What's going on, Carl? What's going on, Sheila? First of all, Carl, I want to say thank you for all you do. And what I've noticed that you do, I just noticed that right now, is that you made yourself a vessel as known as a go-between for the other positive people in our community that they would normally not want to talk to. I salute you for that. That's pretty dope.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
Yes, that is. And I got to say this.
And
oh, go ahead,
right. And I want to give a shout out to I definitely want to give a shout out to Sheila, man. She's a monster in this game as well. Adversity that she went through, where she's at now in her life, she's a dope person. Yes. Sheila is a dope person, and I thank you, Sheila, for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you never introduced Sheila, and I never understand.
That's the lead. I was going to lead into that.
All right,
so,
all right.
Rhode Island Freedom Collective was created by Steve Parkers, Mario Montero, and myself, us three, and we made sure to not just create something. We wanted to show where 3 juvenile lifers, very specific, can do the work at a level most can imagine, right? And do it with humility, do it with care, do it with concern, making sure we're always elevating the brothers and sisters inside. And our goal was to show Rhode Island, and actually the world, because it's way bigger than Rhode Island, that when people can be turned into law, turned into policy, understanding that that's the only way we're going to get true democracy is through the law, right? And you know what I was doing with the law.
Yes, I know, right? I know.
So we create the Rhode Island Freedom Collective. Our primary objectives last year in the legislative body was trying to get free communications. We had a bill that we were trying to get free communications for everyone incarcerated. That included your FaceTime, your texting, and your phone calls.
And how far did that go?
Went very far. One of the first times in Rhode Island history that the legislators seen a mass amount of people from the prison writing about the importance of free communications. First time they seen people in society saying, you know, wait a minute, I am paying that amount of money. I didn't know that I could challenge that.
I didn't know I could challenge that.
You understand? That's how deep the law is and how far removed poor communities are from it. To say, wait a minute, I can go to the state house and testify.
Yeah,
I can go to the state house.
I didn't know our opinion is really that it can go that far.
It can go that far.
I realized that they can go that far.
So little old me, after 30 years incarcerated, was going door to door. We made sure to get a campaign together and go door to door. Social media campaign. This is what it looks like in real time for people that were incarcerated, far removed from the community, to get back out into the community that embraced us. They didn't push us, embraced us and say, yo, we got you, brothers. And because you don't know, let me tell you, I'm still learning to use my phone this morning, struggling, right? I was struggling to promote No Longer Trap and also promote something that me and Sheila put together, a music group, and she gonna get to that. I'm gonna let her speak about herself and speak to this music group final draft that we're gonna be bringing to Rhode Island. I did that in a 2-year span, brother, right? But I didn't do that alone. I did that with God. I did that with the support of the community, did that with support of my family, did that with support of the same politicians that I stayed cracking when I was inside.
Hey, Kyle, could I ask you a question real quick, Kyle?
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
before I hang up and go back to work, Kyle, what do you think is needed from the Black men and women in our community? What do you think is in the forefront that's needed from us?
Daddy, bring us some waters over here, Daddy. 3 waters.
Wow, that's a very loaded question and a philosophical question because there's a lot of things that are needed. But I believe if you ask me one thing and I had to choose or decide, thank you, young man. Thank you, young man. Appreciate it. I would say a lack of fear and a deeper understanding that we can. And what I mean by that is we do not have to.
So hold on, Kai. I gotta say this, and Benny, I always say this. Sometimes when you guys speak with them big words, people I swear to God, they're going, huh? What's the short term that you could give us? But can you give us just? I know that's how you're supposed to speak, and that's I'm not taking. But I'm saying, can you break it down in short term, really? So I ain't gotta go. Yo, what was you saying?
I would say that means in short term, we have the potential, we have the power, we have the love in our communities to do a lot of the work that we believe others are doing.
Okay, got it. So basically, we gotta start doing the work.
We've been doing the work for generations, but not been recognized. We got to get to a place of more of our people, Black people predominantly, are elevating other Black people, trusting other Black people, right? Having true love for other Black people, that not everyone wants to be a politician. Not everyone wants to be a business owner. Not everyone wants to go to academia. But how do you elevate that person that doesn't have that skill set, right?
That just wants to go play basketball.
That wants to go play basketball.
That wants to be a rapper.
That wants to be a rapper. The entire community, because we're so marginalized, because we're so pushed back economically, academically, right? Through the church. We need to start uplifting each other as the Black community, and other communities will follow. They will follow.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact right
That
there.
is a fact.
Thank you, Uncle Benny.
Carl.
I just want to say
Appreciate it, Uncle Benny. Yes, sir. Yeah, so short term. Second bill that we were pushing was called the Second Chance Act, or reconsideration. And that bill was premised on what traditionally happens in the ACI. The average man and woman that's incarcerated, unfortunately, as Trap can attest to, as Michelle can attest to, as most people in Rhode Island can attest to, if you're given a 10-year bid, there's a high probability you are doing all that time. You're given a 20-year bid, you are doing all that time. And if you do finally get
escape the tape.
Right. If you finally do get the parole that you probably should have been given years prior, you're already at the end of your bid. What that means is, I'm using a lot of slang, the end of your bid will be end of your sentence. You'll probably have 1 year or 2 years left. You lost a lifetime. You done lost family bond. You done lost in that process, you done lost your opportunity to probably acquire a job that would have took you maybe 3 years ago, versus how much time is lost. And I can keep going on and on about loss, right?
Loss, yeah, because I was about to say that. We could go on and on about loss, but tell me what's some of your pitfalls out here right now.
So
what you struggle with? What do you struggle with?
One of the worst pitfalls that I struggle with is lack of socialization. So when I went in, me and you, Michelle, we're from an era of where you knew everyone's name on the block. Yeah. Everyone's mom, everyone's auntie. You were actually called your mom's name. You remember those days? Yeah. I was Miss Mona. Yeah, I was Mona. Yeah. People didn't call me by my name. It was very rude.
Mona's boy.
Mona's boy, right? Yeah. So I'm from that era where everyone knew everybody, even law enforcement. Because understand, the community is fucking community to me. Yeah. Right? So even law enforcement, we had enough power and enough resource and enough capital in the community where if some bullshit happened with one law enforcement, ask for a captain. I can ask for a lieutenant. Yeah. Right? Might not get a lot done, but it'll be a little bit to where rest in peace to Buddy. The world has changed a lot. That exists a little bit, but people are so far removed, community is so far removed. So I'm accustomed to saying yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Right?
So you think that's something that hurts you? Say
hurt me. Listen, I get out. I remember my first time going to the mall. I'm accustomed to saying yes, sir, yes, ma'am. A quick head nod to someone.
I thought you was outside. That's why I was you. But my co-host wants to ask you a question. He hears you.
What's up?
So he can hear you. I'm sorry I cut you off, brother, but I knew he was calling me. I was outside. That's why he was calling me. Here we go. So you can hear him. You can hear. That's Chief. Hold up. Oh, he's calling back right now. Yeah.
Yo.
All right. You can hear me in the headphones. All right. We can hear you, brother.
All right. What up, Tom? I appreciate it.
Yo, your phone's chopping up. You hear me? You sound like you're underwater, bro.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah. We can hear you better now.
I want to ask Milo since he lived in the law library, stuff like that, and being home after he Kyle's help. My son sentence modification and what's the other one? Modification and reduction.
And modification. Now his son Tay is serving a long time in prison. How long Tay serving, Chief?
He got sentenced to a 45-year sentence. He got 5 in, but when he got sentenced, the lawyer didn't put in his appeal, which he habeas himself in court, and they addressed it. They're allowing him the opportunity to put in his appeal, even though we're not going to get too hung up on that. But they accepted the 2 motions for the sentence reduction and the other one for modification.
Oh, God bless him. God bless him.
All right. The judge granted the motion for
Absolutely.
the modification and granted the motion for the I forgot the other hearing, but he granted it. Oh, wasn't it a post conviction?
Say that again?
Wasn't it a post conviction relief that they granted?
Basically, or whatever. But once he got sentenced and he started beginning his bid or whatever, the lawyer just stopped doing everything he was doing. He never put in his appeal.
Okay.
So then when we found that out, I told my son what to do. Get with the law library, get with whoever's top dog at the law library, and now we're here. But I need some insight or help for me being on the outside of what I need to do besides writing character letters, getting other people to write character letters. My son from the outside.
Yeah, so listen, first and foremost, I'm sorry that had to go through that trauma of depending on a lawyer, depending on counsel, and you were failed, right? And again, why you were failed, that's more time, that's more understanding that was lost within your family. But I'm also proud of you as a father. Listen, let me tell you something, brother. I don't know you. Maybe I do know you. A father, a black father calling this radio show or expressing your care and concern and love for your boy that's incarcerated is a feat within itself.
Yes, like I explained to you, that's my co-host. He sat on this couch where you was and explained the whole case to everybody before.
Yes.
So that's what I told him, that just that he opened up alone.
Yes.
To share that alone,
Yes.
that pain and trauma, what you're going through, and
As
for
a
help.
father.
And he asks for help.
So
Yes, that's what I
mean.
because he doesn't know the laws like that. So you see, that's what he's calling for now. He wants direction. He's one of them guys that go, yo, when it's something like that, especially when it pertains to Tay, he really wants to. You understand what I'm saying? So you can give him it.
So my main voice to you, because again, you see what you guys had already done with yourself, that power within self, getting into that law library, listening to the brothers in there, versus a parent, because this happens a lot too. Oh, don't listen to those guys. That's what lawyers do a lot. Don't listen to those guys.
Yeah. They told me that not to listen to
don't
you.
listen, because we're about to expose things that the system should be doing. right? All your federal rights, your United States constitutional rights, your Rhode Island general law rights. We're going to make sure all those things are being talked about, and there's no backdoor deals. No backdoor deals. We're giving you raw from the bone. This is what my rights are. This is how they were violated, and here's the remedy that I'm looking for. So in your case, brother, you've already started the process. Some justice being given back, right?
Yes.
So
he
because
wants to
some
know
justice. What you need to do now, as a father,
yes,
as a man, as a supporter of your son, is, if you can, economic times are rough, but if you can find a lawyer, and we can talk off, we're talking another time. There are actually many of good lawyers in this state, and
no, it's not in this state.
No, they're in this state.
No, that it's not. His son's locked up in Baltimore.
My son's from Maryland, and he's
Maryland.
been given a lawyer. He's been given a court-appointed lawyer already. She's the one who's done the work that she's done thus far.
She's the one that flipped it, got him.
I didn't know he was out of state.
Yeah.
Okay, so excuse me on that, brother. The only thing you can do right now, and it's not only, I don't want to minimize it. You keep supporting your son, keep writing him. That lawyer, ask the lawyer. Do not be afraid to ask the lawyer what resources she may need. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people miss that point and are afraid. See, it goes back to that fear, right? Especially with black folk, poor black folk, not prepared to ask. Ask them lawyers, ask that doctor, ask that person at DHS. Don't be afraid, because we're taught not to ask the questions.
Mm-hmm.
No. I move in a whole different world, and I make sure when I'm talking to people out in this new world, this free world, where don't be afraid to ask questions. And if you're afraid to ask a system questions, you got brothers right in the community that would be willing to volunteer to help you ask that question.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
fact.
fact.
So I did ask her, when I did ask her that direct question, what does she need me to do, or what could I do? What she did direct me to do, when I asked, a few people, family members, and anybody that got the opportunity to meet and know my son and his time here in Rhode Island, she just told me to get character letters written for him, as many as I can.
Right. And so
there's no overwhelming number or anything.
So it's not just character letters. You also want to be able to get letters that are going to talk about employment. It's very, very difficult to do, but if you have the means, again, brother, you making a phone call to me, this is fantastic. But at the same time, reach out to the community, trust the community, because you also want maybe a couple of job letters. Are they difficult to get? Yes, because your son's incarcerated. We don't know when the brother's coming home, but we do know this. There's somebody in the community that would be willing to say when that brother's time is close, right? Or when he's released, we're willing to give him the opportunity for employment.
You know what it is with that part of it, man? That's far as job letters. That's far away from the equation right now. When you're doing 40 years and you got 5 in,
it's far away from the equation.
That's my personal.
Hold on, no, it's foreign. It's not. No, it's a reality. But what it is not far away from is the parole board's mindset. People miss that. How deep that? How deep?
When does he go for parole, Chief?
Well, due to studying his sentence and stuff or whatever, he's eligible for parole. Not that he would get it, but he was eligible for parole at the 5-year mark.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
so he's man, it's different out there. So he's eligible. Yeah, Chief, man. I agree with Kyle on that one. There, man. I would get all kinds of job letters, home letters, every support letter I need. Because
I'm still waiting on a few letters from people or whatever. But I've emailed the lawyer about 3 of them already. You know what I'm saying?
And brother, let me go deeper than that.
We don't have a court date. The only thing that we did, we only got a positive response from the court when the motions were filed. But what we're waiting for at this point right now, the next step is getting the court date and getting in the court and acknowledging these things.
So it's about, so listen, brother, again, there's a mistake that we make a lot of times, or not a mistake. We just don't know. We don't have that knowledge, right? You have to start early in the process. Don't start near the end. You start early in the process, because the parole board are actually looking at that as where, oh, this man always had support.
Always had. He didn't just get these letters this year. He had these letters. Wow, the letters was dated back then. Oh, then he got some new letters dated.
There you go. Listen, so if your brother or your family, I'm sorry, if your young son, the family associates, if you were involved in the church, if you were doing community work, if your son just played kickball on some damn kickball team, which I'm not minimizing kickball because we used to play kickball when we were young kids.
Yo, we love
Where's
kickball
at?
You
Where's
don't even have
Scatter
that
at?
no more.
Right? So actually, no, that's not true. A couple of months ago,
they played it. I seen it. Yep.
Chad Brown, Camden Pop. We tried to get the kickball cracking again. The young kids wasn't ready for it, but it showed you where we were trying.
We got to get the dodgeball.
Yeah, you know what it is. Listen, shout out to brother Rodney Dalzone. Shout out to brother Steve Santos. Shout out to Chester. Those are all my people with the Chad Brown Alumni Association. You know what I mean? The brothers with the Alpha program. Those are my family. But listen, because I don't want to cut it short because we can cover a lot of information.
I need to introduce
you to somebody. Dear friend of mine, one of the co-founders of DARE, Sheila Wellham. She's been involved with this work at the most personal levels, trying to change our communities, bring more love to our communities, and make sure that our rights are being protected in the community.
Now, before I let you go on, I didn't know you was from DARE. I done wrote to DARE. Now, I have a personal beef with DARE. Remember when I told you guys yesterday that I'm gonna squash these little petty beefs and stuff that I got with organizations and people. I no longer have a problem with DARE, but I have a problem with DARE because, as Kai would probably agree with me, when we was going through a lot of stuff in prison, we would write to DARE and DARE would tell us, yeah, we're gonna get you guys hot water. We know you guys don't got no hot water. Yo, the heat was off. We wrote to you about the heat. Every time you wrote us and you told us you was gonna come help us, and you never came and helped us. So when I came home, I had a personal problem with them, Kyrie.
I remember.
You know what I'm saying? So when they come into me like, yo, Trap, we need you to da-da-da-da-da, I'm like, nah, man. You guys never, you always say that you guys are for the prisons and you're for people, but you never show all the way through. You understand what I'm saying? They never put their name on it. Yeah, DARE's representative. Then you never hear them again. That was my prior shit with DARE. You know what I'm saying? And inmates that are in the prison systems. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let you go on from there and see how you're gonna revise this. Because there's somebody else, I forgot her name, that's a part of DARE too now, and that I have worked with her, and she's on a different path of DARE too. So I'll let you.
Thank you. Well, as Kyle said, I'm one of the co-founders of DARE.
It stretches, yeah.
Trap, I'm coming down right now.
All right.
I'm one of the co-founders of DARE. We started with 5 people.
Yeah.
Sitting around the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And because we knew there was a need. And as Kyle talked about, because we knew in our community, we were tired of people coming into our community telling us what we needed.
Yeah.
We knew what we needed. We needed to be able to lift voices of people. Some people who didn't even realize they had a voice or how powerful it was going to be when they got it.
Mm-hmm.
Let people tell their stories. When people write from the inside and must tell us situations, I can go and talk about it real well. But nobody can tell your story like you can.
And nobody can tell you from DARE that they went in there, they heard the story, and they rectified it. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear that the DARE rectifies stuff. I don't want to hear that that's all they do is they've been doing that.
But I think there are many things that DARE has rectified.
Yes.
And things on the outside and the inside. From everything from small inside stuff people may think. There were times.
Hey!
There were times during a visit.
We live. Literally.
Real live. There were times during a visit you couldn't bring a baby bottle in with milk. It could only be clear water. That may seem small, but it's very important when you have to interrupt a visit to go outside.
Yes, you got to get searched again. You got to go through all of that procedure.
Come back in.
Yes, and I remember writing to DARE about that because I had an infant, and I remember because they were saying, yo, you can't have infant milk no more. So you're telling me we got to sit for 2 hours. If the baby gets hungry, I can't feed. The baby has to scream. Now it interrupts my visit.
We did that. We did that because we got so many calls from people, so many visits. I'm a mother. I know that feeling, unfortunately. And also for bringing things into a visit. You couldn't bring a diaper. So therefore, once your child did whatever they did in their
that's
diaper,
it. You had to either
leave.
They got a rash diaper thing, or they had to go. You had to leave.
Yeah, you had to leave. Those are some of the smaller things we worked on. We worked on
Did they change them?
They did. They did.
All right, so now you can go in with infant milk.
You can.
Now you can bring in Pampers.
You can bring
Thank
in
you,
Pampers.
thank you.
You can
thank
also
you.
bring a pamper. You can bring in a blanket,
All right, then.
which was, a big deal in a lot of ways. Not
Salute
just
to
one.
there, man. Salute to there for that, and I appreciate that. And the brothers and sisters that are behind the wall appreciate that, because I want to tell you that's something major that can destroy my mindset. Because now I came to the visit, my visit got disrupted. Guess when I go back to the unit, I'm in a bad mood. I'm in a demon now. Now I could either I create more chaos instead of peace. My visit was supposed to be my peace, but instead it created more chaos. So go ahead.
In the beginning of DARE, when we first started DARE, we did local issues. The playground on Pearl Street. We got that playground revamped. It had never been done before. We had a tennis court put in that playground because neighbors talked about it. Everything in the people in the city, just like Kyle was talking about. We had visions for our kids, not just some kids want to do more than play basketball. We talked about it. Offense to basketball. I got some good players in my family, but we talked about it. We had a tennis court put in that playground, and it was utilized.
And nobody plays tennis.
People asked for it though. People on that block asked for it.
Yeah, they asked for it, but they didn't utilize it.
We were using.
That's what. Hold on. I just want to stop you for 1 second, because I hate when people complain about something, right? Oh, we want a tennis court, and then don't make the city waste their money that we could have used that money for something else. Is that tennis court still there?
It's not there.
Exactly. They used money to build it and then destroy it. How much money did they use to build it and destroy it, and nobody used it? They got nothing out of it.
But you know what? And I agree with you on that. But neighbors pulled together. That's what they said they wanted at the time. And we listened, and it happened. We made the city pay attention. And sometimes it's just like you said, people didn't utilize it. But the people who were there then, they knew it was a victory because we made people listen. We had children, we had grandchildren, grandparents marching to City Hall. This in a couple of months, we're going to recognize Miss Maddie Smith. Miss Maddie Smith was one of the co-founders of DARE. She passed away 2 years ago at the age of 90. The tot lot on Glenham Street is named after her. It was one of the first times that the city named something after someone who was still alive. Mm-hmm. They gave her flowers while she was still here. One of her proudest moments. And on September 20th, they're going to rename Glenham Street Maddie L. Smith Way. That's a movement. That's a movement because this woman came out countlessly and told her story. When we started DARE, it was Miss Maddie. It was me. It was 5 people, but it was predominantly women telling our stories of how life has affected us.
But why are they naming that street after? Because I know that there's some legends that street that been on that street. I don't know why. Did she live on that street or something? Okay. That's all I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
Her daughters.
She lived there with the Islas in the I forget the other family.
She lived on the corner of
Big
family.
family.
Taylor, and that's why the tot lot was named after her. She and her daughter
Jessie
were
and them.
responsible for Jessie's mom.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Big Jessie's mom.
Oh, that's there. All right. Okay.
Jessie,
All right.
Jackie, Deborah.
Yeah. Okay. Got you. All right.
And she was responsible for getting the first lunch program put in that tot lot.
So when was the last time? I got a quick question before. When was the last time you heard from the South Side and what they needed in the South Side, or when was the last time a meeting was created where the South Side said what they needed? You know, she said that they said they needed
all the time.
We had a meeting.
That's what I'm saying. What did they say they need?
We had a meeting. We had a community meeting within the year because we were going through a transition in DARE where we didn't have a director for a while. We just hired somebody, but we had a community meeting. We invited probably about 50 people showed up and talked about what people wanted to see, and a lot got mentioned around police.
About police.
In the begining of DARE, when we first started,
the answer is not more police.
Right.
This is why. No. I know that. I'm not. I'm sorry. Don't make you. The answer is. See, that's what I wanted to. Every time we go to these things, the answer is. We need more police presence. That's bringing them more. When we see cops, people get more riled up. People are not fond of police. I don't know if we're use people what land users on. It's 2025. Some police are killing people. Some police are really doing bad work. They're doing nasty things, and it's being exposed. So they're not in the popularity contest. So what I'm trying to say is, yo, when we go to these events like that, we really got to get what we need. And that's what I want to hear from you. What did they say that we need?
Can I just say one thing? When I first moved here, when I first moved to Rhode Island, I didn't know anybody. I had an encounter a few years after being here with the police officer, and I had been abused. I had been beaten.
Yeah.
And a cop told me that's what you white girls get for marrying, and he used the N-word.
Oh.
Within 9 months of that, I was organizing. So that's why I didn't hold hatred in my heart, because I knew this was going to be my story. I started organizing, and even before DARE, I did work around police brutality, and we fought. A few people, we got a grant from the city, we got a Dexter grant. We opened up the Dexter fund.
Is it hard sticking up for a black man? See how your face just cracked? See, see that right there, that look that scares me in a way, because I know users. I don't know what you're going through, Kyle, but what I'm saying, that look she gave me when I asked her that was, oh my God, like she didn't, but I really want to know.
Because for me, it's not about, just like how you said, sticking up for a black man. It's sticking up for men I love. It's sticking up for my sons. It's sticking up for my grandsons. It's sticking up for men I'm with every single day. Yes, that are black men.
Yes.
And because of my journey, I've learned the differences between race and culture. Absolutely. But I accept culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, when you say that fears you, you don't really know me.
And when
you say that sticking up for black men, it was kind of the wording, because what I do comes from my heart. And I've heard some really people who say that because it's chic, it's okay to say. But this is the culture that I live in. My sons are black men. So
when a white man says something derogatory towards a black man, it boils your skin.
Absolutely, because I consider it a personal attack. I consider it a.
Do you address that right there to that person?
Absolutely. And the reason I say that, because, as I just said, around culture, because it is a personal attack. It's an attack on my family. It's an attack once again on my black sons, my black daughters, black men that I love and care about. And that's why the situation and the fight, the prison fight, is so important to me, because it's men that I love, women that I love, that I care about, that have lost their lives, have lost pieces of their lives, and that's why it's so important to me. And that's when you said that. That's why I kind of leaned back a little bit.
Yeah,
because and when I hear some people say that, I may hear some of my white friends and allies say that about the sticking up, and I'll be looking at them like, what? But it's different. It's different because it.
You want to say it? All right.
It's different because it is my life, and it's not just sticking up. It's sticking up for more than that. Like I said, I can't say it enough.
Yes, and I thank you for that, man. And every black man thanks you for that, man. Because it's hard, man. And let me tell you something. It's hard to get a white woman to really stand up for us. Really get on camera and say, I'm gonna stand up for mine in front of their white constituents. Oh, we like that word.
Constituents.
Right? They get in front of their white constituents, right? And then they get turned into a cherry. They turn into an apple or a tomato in the face. You know what I'm saying? That's chief right there.
I'm a little tomato in the face because I.
No, I'm just saying that.
I'm messing with you.
No, I understand that, but some people get.
I get that, but you know what? That's their journey, and they're not, and this is not their life and their culture. And it's more than just sticking up for a trap. It's the life. It's the life. I have to live and fight for it to protect my sons, my black sons, just like any other mother should and would.
Yes, and
so
that's
it's
dope.
Not about me seeing them like that. I don't look at my sons and see them as those black sons, but I see them as black men.
Black men. Yes. Chief, you got a question for him?
No, I do have to correct people when they say that. I have to correct white folks. I have to correct black folks, because it needs to be accepted and recognized. Yeah. And also, when we talk about race and ethnicity, we come from a truly multiracial, multicultural family. I don't teach my children to say that, to deny any piece of their culture, but to make sure that they accept and recognize all of it. My dad's German. My mom's Native American. two distinct cultures. And then my children are Black. Distinct cultures and ethnicities and race. And that's one of the reasons when we started there, I knew that if my children were going to learn true history, I was going to have to build that circle for them. And I brought my people and my children around powerful people because I wanted them to have powerful stories to tell.
Absolutely. You
And
bring
they-
your kids around powerful people, they become powerful individuals.
Absolutely.
And I believe in that. And
And,
an old timer told me that. Shout out to Block Blizzy out there in Connecticut. He told me that when we was in the cell, man. He said, always bring your child around powerful people. Don't bring them around people that are weak. Your child will become a weak person. You'll have a weak mind, a weak soul, a weak body. You always want to be around powerful people. And I like to be around powerful people because I consider myself powerful. So I like, you understand what I'm saying? And so, you know what I mean, and I thank you, and I want to commend you both for getting up early in the morning. I'm sorry we didn't do this earlier.
No, nothing to
understand
be
what I'm
sorry
saying?
about. So the connection, aside from the Rhode Island Freedom Collective, what brought us together to promote was music, right? And music is very, very important to our lives while we were inside. You know how important that shit was to us.
Saved a lot of souls.
If you're not listening to, and me and Trapper from another world where we only had this small Sony radio. What's the other one? Iowa, the Iowa
Yeah,
joint.
the Iowa. I still got mine.
Iowa's little Sony little radios. And when I tell you, we understand that connection. That was the only for some of us. That was the only connection we had to family.
To family,
right? To get that shout out coming through 95.5. You know what I'm saying? WBRU. And Trap will tell you there are people that fought in the ACI fist fight because you interrupted music. Because again,
you was making too much noise.
You were making too much noise. So brothers would listen from the gospel to the R&B to Midnight Madness. I remember hearing chats, but yo, Midnight Madness is on my people's is on there. I know. So
we used to be up. That was our thing. Like on Sundays, it was like a known written rule in prison.
That was a family reunion track.
It was our day in prison.
And batteries were vital.
Yeah, batteries were vital.
Let me tell you something. And the brother knows what it is. Let me tell you so the audience understands the culture inside. Yeah. We used to take batteries, put batteries that we had new, and batteries are expensive inside, just like they're expensive outside. We would take batteries, put them in a sock
to keep them fresh.
Or take a battery, put them in socks, take a sheet, and sheets are long, but if you take 2 sheets and rip them, they become at least like 40 feet. Take that, put it to a fingernail clipper, throw it out the cell on the bottom of the cell so it can go down the tear. It's called fishing. Right? The brothers know what fishing is. Anyone that's been inside know to make sure that man got those batteries so he can hear that shout out from his family. That's how deep music is to us inside. So check this out. Me and Miss Sheila see this group that we like called Final Draft. 3 young brothers from Atlanta. And we were like, yo, they in Boston. She calls them to see if when's the next time you come into Boston. That become, again, ask questions. That becomes soon. She asks a vital question. Have you ever been to Rhode Island? Never mind you, this group were finalists for America's Got Talent. They're probably hands down the most sought out and known cover band in the United States.
They're bigger than Warrack. The Warrackians.
Way bigger than them. But that's our people though, the Warrackians. I know who they are.
Shout out to the Warrackians.
Shout out to the Warrackians. Lyrics all day. I follow
Warrackians.
The Wild Boys. This is a cover band, but they cover that music that me and you grew up listening to, that Sheila grew up listening to, that the brother grew up listening to, where positive messages, community messages, that Motown, you know what I'm saying? The Stax records, you know what I mean? Those songs that you heard
that make you want to dance.
Yeah, you go to the cookout.
Remember when we first saw them? We saw them. Literally, I told Kyle, look at them. Their moves. These are 3 young brothers in their late 20s, one's 30. And you would think you were watching the Temptations. Every move every hand, every foot, everything in sync perfectly.
Oh, they're
Then
coordinated.
we turn-
They're brothers. They've been practicing in
And
business.
then we turned the music on, and it was all over.
They went crazy.
They went crazy. So I'm like, yo, what would it look like for the Rhode Island Freedom Collective to bring them brothers here?
Mm-hmm.
And with her guidance, with her advice,
This guy
made
coming
it
here.
happen. Made it happen.
When they coming?
They come in August 29th to platforms. We try. Listen, we are not playing around. We trying to do it 300 deep. We got our cards here. You know what I'm saying? We got the flyer. You go to the Facebook, Rhode Island Freedom Collective. Go to our Instagram. Go to Final Draft's website. You'll see the show being promoted. We want every Rhode Islander to come out. The name of the show is called Singing for Justice, because you know I was going to connect it to our lives.
Yes.
The power of music in our communities, the power of music prior to being captured and brought to this country. Because while we were being captured by Europeans, we were playing that drum, but that was the war drum. So it shows you how music has moved through our blood, through our genes, through our DNA that long. That's part of the freedom struggle. Every fight that we had in this country had music behind it. So the fight that there's in, the fight that the Rhode Island Freedom Collective is in, and any other organization in Rhode Island, the fight that we're in as individual human beings, is all connected still to music. Because that's that one thing that can rile you up. We can listen to the MOP. We can listen to Dead Prez. We can listen to who else we got there? Anyone?
Jim Jones.
It's the anybody conscious.
Oh, no.
He's talking about conscious rappers though.
I'm talking about freedom fighter rappers.
Yeah.
That's a,
That's different. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, you said Dead Prez.
Talib and Kweli.
You got
Talib and Kweli. Those
Most Def.
Most Def brothers
Common
that
Sense.
were put on watch list. So imagine, I'm telling the true essence of the community that you don't want to hear America, and you put me on a watch list. Public Enemy watch list.
Is Erykah Badu still on the watch list? I don't know why they had
Erykah Badu. If I'm no.
They had her on. I know she said that.
You don't know why she was on the watch list?
That video she did.
The video and the lyrics. Listen to the lyrics. She paints a picture.
She laid on the ground where John F. Kennedy got assassinated at, but she tried to. The message that she had in the song and the video is what it was. Yeah.
About the brother knows. It's about the words where she's showing a picture of how America has treated us for a long, long time. And America does not like that. But let me tell you something. You think I give a fuck? See, I cuss too.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted.
No, I cuss, slang. I still MC right now. So this is the first time I'm saying it. Everyone in Rhode Island's gonna hear it, and everyone outside of Rhode Island's gonna hear it. Me and the brother, someone you know, Crook Rock. Shout out to my brother over 30 years, Crook Rock. We're gonna be making an album. The album's called The Six. Oh, I didn't stop rapping. Don't think I stopped.
God.
I stopped.
I know, but I'm just saying. Yo, Kyle, you got it.
With it.
I know. I know you better. You better.
There's a lot to say after.
I was about to say that. And now getting all kidding aside, yo, after 30 years in jail, man, yo, you got a lot to rap about, man. You got a story to tell. So this album, I really hope it's about your life and it's, you know what I'm saying? Because I know you're not going nowhere else. I know you ain't shooting them up gang, and I know you're not doing none of that. So I know it's gonna be about positivity for one, and it's gonna be real, and it's gonna give goosebumps.
You're gonna hear a lot about the culture, how important music is, right? You're gonna hear a lot about pain and how to manage pain, right? Either be through prayer, either be through meditation, or sometimes pain is managed through other pain, right? There's a lot of brothers,
explain that.
There's a lot of people in our
that.
communities. There's a lot of people in our communities that are traumatized.
Yes.
Sometimes that trauma is healed because it's not a true healing, but it's healed through drugs, alcohol, hypersexuality, picking up a gun, picking up a knife, and doing damage to some other human being, and finding some resolute or resolve within that. Even though it's wrong, if I've been brutalized in my community by that power structure, I only believe that's right. It makes me feel good momentarily.
Facts.
Not realizing I'm damaging myself and damaging the community over time. So the longer and the more that different systems are not addressed in this country, and mainly we in Rhode Island right now, in this state, you're going to continuously to have that trauma and young people thinking it's okay and thinking it's right to be verbally violent, right? Because it's different business to be emotionally violent, to write violent things on social media, not even knowing that that's violence.
Yeah.
Right. So it's our job as adults to articulate where you demonizing someone on social media, that's an act of violence. Depending on how you say it, can be a criminal charge.
Or it could be death sentence or street justice.
Death sentence, right?
We're dealing with street justice. A lot of you be saying stuff that you could deal with street justice more than you're gonna deal with the cops. You might say something like you might tell somebody, man, suck my dick on Facebook. You ain't gonna get arrested for that. But the street justice behind that,
you don't know what's coming.
You might lose your life behind that.
You might lose your life. You might lose your life.
But we got 3 minutes, and before we go, I want you to give your handles where they can reach you at, where we can find this event at, what dates this is going to be on, because I need everybody there. I know it's August 29th.
August 29th, platforms on Pole Street. Make sure you come out. Again, final draft is the name of the group.
Buy tickets. Our tickets are on Eventbrite.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Where can you go get them at?
You can look on the Rhode Island Freedom Collective page. You can look on either one of our Facebooks and see it. Contact us. Reach out. We'll find a way to get you a ticket. But the main is you can't find a way.
So you go on www.com or eventbrite.com?
Yes.
Okay.
Eventbrite.com, Rhode Island Freedom Collective. Instagram, Rhode Island Freedom Collective, Facebook, and Rhode Island Freedom Collective website. You can contact me directly. All the links are there. You want to talk about criminal justice. You want to talk about music. You want to talk about bringing other bands that should be here. You want to talk about elevating different groups that are already here in the state, which we need. Again, that goes back to that support, right? Mm-hmm. Support our own people. You know what I mean? Support our own people because we can support our own people.
That's a fact. Right? That's a fact.
So come out.
One thing about this group, starting in November, they're the first cover band to get a residency in Las Vegas.
Ooh.
So they have blown up. These young brothers work hard. I've gotten to know them. I've gotten to know their manager.
Money for a residency.
Yes.
She's a mother to 2 of them, and she has done everything. She does what she does to elevate boys and men.
Okay.
So, hey, take heed. On the night, we're going to have a raffle. This is going to be a whole different kind of music event where we're going to be doing question and answer, talking about housing, talking about criminal justice, talking about education, talking about transportation.
What's going on in the back?
In the back of which people know, most people that have been to platforms, you have a huge space back there. So we're going to be tabling. We're going to have merchandise. DJ Crook is going to be doing his DJ and production thing all night. Wanda Brown, shout out to the sister Wanda Brown. She's going to be emceeing throughout the night with Miss Sheila. Free food. Drinks are not free because Brother Joe, shout out to Brother Joe at Platforms for making that space available to us. So drinks are going to be available. Free food. Great time. Positivity. There's not going to be no foolishness because God is going to be in that house protecting us that night.
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes, and I want to say, man, thank y'all for coming, man. I appreciate it, man. I want to say, man, yo, Kyle, man, continue your work, bro. Continue your work, man. And you need anything out of the No Longer Time podcast, man, you know I got you, brother. Anytime you just want to come on in, Sheila, you send me a text and y'all are on it because y'all are family. You understand what I'm saying? I'm with the struggle, so I might not be in the fight with Kyle, but I am in the fight with him.
Always been in
you know understand what I'm saying?
Always been in that fight.
You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of times, like my brother Damon Howell, shout out to Damon Howell. He tells me like,
what up, Damon?
He tells me like, yo, bro, I'm getting juiced out from helping the community. Like he gets from so juiced out, and yo, we're revamping him to getting him energized to. I hope this something like this energizes brothers like Damon Howell to get more juice. To the fight's not over. You understand what I'm saying?
Our people is out there.
Yeah, the fight.
Diane Chris is out in the street all the time.
Yes.
Brother Colby's in the street all the time. Brother Watts is in the street. James Montero's in the street. Then we have a whole group of young people that are younger than him. It's not just, the OGs. You know what I mean? There's some young people out there.
Shout out to the OGs though, man.
Work.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, grandparents are out doing the work.
Hell yeah,
right?
they protecting your grandkids. You want them.
So
You know
I
what I'm
heard
saying?
this. I'm gonna use an example. You say we're not in the same fight. Oh, we in the same fight. We just look a little different.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a little taller than you.
Yeah.
I still play ball. You don't got it no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we still in
Kyle,
the same fight.
Kyle, we went at Kyle, hold up. Oh God, I knew he was gonna try to take it there. Hey Kyle, me and you went at it on the court. Kyle, we went at it. I'm saying, Kyle, your stretch arm strong. I'm saying he blocks everything. You gotta shoot high over him. I went at it with Kyle.
He said he blocks everything.
Yeah, he does.
I think he got long arms.
Yeah, he's like the fly swatter Jew. You know what I'm saying? So everything gotta be moved, a hook, or everything gotta be around.
I get separation.
That's the ceiling. You know what I'm saying? But I get it though,
but see, I learned this that I didn't know inside. Right before I was on my transition out, some brothers had told me that we came up with, hey, yo, you're not going to believe what Trap did. He helped clean up the South Side. Law enforcement wasn't doing nothing. The city wasn't doing nothing. The state wasn't doing nothing. So I'm talking with a young brother I was working out with, because we still do those prison routines.
Yeah.
Right in the street, in the park. People see me on social media. That comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
That's 30 years ago. I might be thin, but play around with that 225 in that gym. I still press it.
Yeah.
With no problem, right?
And yo, he
No
always
problem.
been 100 pounds too. He always he never had like we did game weight. He wasn't that. Kyle was slim. Kyle, you playing ball. And then can I just tell you something? Kyle didn't want to play ball with everybody. Yo, he would stop. He'd be like, nah, they cry too much. He got to the point. Kyle would be like, nah, he'll have his khakis on all the way tied up, all the way up here. You know he didn't want to play basketball when we had gym. Yo, I got Kyle. We would take him before he came to the gym. But he'd be like, nah, I ain't playing today. I have his boots on. I ain't going to the law library. Bubba used to be mad at that because Kyle got too cocky. He didn't want to play with nobody. We was always ready to fight. Kyle didn't want to get into none of that.
Well, when I played, what happened?
Yeah,
you remember Craig? You remember the team?
Yeah.
Craig Gardnetto.
Yeah.
Shout out to brother Ron Hopper.
Yeah, they
Shout
ran
out
us.
to brother Kia.
They ran us.
You into the
Oh,
ground.
they ran us onto the ground. They beat us every
Championship.
What building was it?
A block.
This is
A block medium.
Medium.
Yeah. We was that team, man. We doing the thing.
They was too fast for us. They smoked cigarettes. We was doing drugs.
Shout out.
We was in jail doing drugs.
Shout out to C Block in 06. We was running shit. You know what I'm saying? Me, Let, my cousin Debo. You know what I'm saying? We had a chip in it.
Yeah, brother Debo. Brother Debo. Listen. Hey, speaking of brother Debo, God bless you, brother. Couple of last year. Shout out to the Pro Board too. See, always bring shit back, brother.
Hey, man.
Shout out to the Pro Board for allowing 5 men formerly incarcerated to link up down in Florida and create a prison school program. You want to know who one of them people were? Debo. Bruce Riley was one of those people.
Hey,
Brother Columbia was one of those people. So again, shout out to the Pro Board.
And I gotta
for
say
elevating itself.
I was going to say that, and I lost track of that. What's her name?
Laura Pisatoro.
I gotta say, shout out to Laura Pisatoro. And I want to say this out of my heart, because Laura gave me a shot when nobody wanted to give me a shot, bro. Laura's giving us shots. Y'all sat with Laura. Yo, Laura really cares about us being successful out here. Laura really cares about us staying out here. And I know people are saying, how is that when she denied this one? Yo, let me tell you something. She denied me too many times.
Many times.
Hey, but one thing Laura told me, man, she's big on accountability, and she's big on, do you really want to change? She don't care about that discipline you just got. Yo, let me tell you something. I seen her say, I don't care about that discipline. What are you trying to do when you get out of here? Okay, boom, you're out of here. The cops in there going, yeah, we didn't get parole because we booked you. No, you didn't. And Pastor Torres said, she let me out of there.
Seen it with my own eyes.
I seen it. When I see that, I got to shake my hand. Every time I see it, I got to say, Laura, I tip my hat to you. Because she's letting brothers out like this, like brothers out like Rob, brothers out like Mario.
Oh, and not just
you understand what I'm trying to say?
Not just letting us out, but supporting things that
we're doing
in the community.
Yes. If I ask Laura right now to come on my podcast, I bet
I never heard of that. That's something
I bet you I could get Laura on my podcast. If I reached out to Laura right now and told Laura I want her on my podcast, she's pulling up by herself and she's coming on my podcast.
And you want to know where that comes
That's
from?
how much.
Hey, listen,
and she got hot like that.
That comes from the community saying what they need from a parole board, right? Because at the end of the day, the community have enough power to make sure nobody's on that whole road any longer, right? They can talk, the community talk with governor. Governor, our peoples are not being given the just due, not being recognized when it comes within the system.
Yep. Hey, we got to go before the cameras die on us. I just want to thank you again. I appreciate you. I love you, Kyle, man. You already know, my brother, I'm for the fight. You already know, man. And I want to say this before I go, before the cameras cut off. Yo, you got to understand, man, the chances that we getting now are blessings from Allah, man. I swear Allah's blessed us. He has blessed us with so much just to have our freedom. We might not be rich. We might not have nothing in life. But, yo, we got our freedom, yo. Everybody watching this right now, y'all don't understand how much this means to us right now just to have our freedom. You know what I'm saying? So peace. I'll see y'all guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. You know what I'm saying?